Are you guys starting to get hot yet?
It's very hot. It's been in the high 90s. You know, we have a different heat than you guys. You guys are hot and humid. We're just dry hot. Yeah, so I don't know what's better. You know, you go to Texas and you're hot and humid and you're sticky, and here you're just like feel like your skin's on fire. So I don't know which is the better.
Both you and I are in a regional association that's based in Colorado, but we live in two of the hottest states. What are we thinking? Idiot.
I know.
Well, I think this is a perfect time to start the podcast, Thomas.
Let's go.
Let's get into it, man. So, hot. What the hell are we doing?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, there's no need to go to a gym. Just go stand outside, whether you're in Texas or New Mexico, or even people we know in Arizona. Just go stand outside, and you're better off than going to a sauna.
It is out of control. I've been watching a friend of mine's dog, and like I don't have a dog ourselves. I first of all, we live in a third floor apartment, and like it's already tough enough to have to live up here and have to walk downstairs and walk upstairs, but let alone having to do it 4 or 5 times a day so that they can go potty. It's brutal. And then you add this heat, and then like we get these rain showers in the afternoon that are super short. It just makes everything dirty and gets everything wet. And it's just so gross and humid afterwards. It's just like, I don't like this. I don't know what we're doing. I think I figured out why you and I are part of the Rocky Mountain Regional Promotional Products Association, is because we now get to force ourselves to leave these hot climates that we are living in to go to amazing Colorado and go hang outside in a few events, right? I think that's
absolutely. That's it. I mean, that's why we're obviously we're not the smartest people on the board. If we're in Texas and New Mexico, we need to be up in Colorado with the other folks enjoying the cool breeze of Colorado. And here we are just killing ourselves with this heat. So
it's nasty.
Oh well.
It is nasty. Well, you are on the Climb podcast with Thomas and Brandon. I hope you loved that intro. We got a couple of great people. Some people reached out to us with some suggestions, and I wish we could do all of them that they have asked us to do, but we are very excited to have a title, to have a future for this thing, and where it's going to live. It is going to be on Rocky Mountain Regional's social media pages across LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also find it over at Apple Podcasts and soon to be up on Amazon Music and just about anywhere else you can get your favorite podcasts. Find them there.
That's awesome. It's crazy how technology has, when you can do something like that, where you can create one thing and it goes to so many different platforms. It's a cool thing that, you know, obviously, I mean, the world is just changing in so many different ways. And it's such a cool thing to see how something like that, where I think the older we get, we're obviously having to learn more things. For these younger generation, it's just like, you know, a touch of a button, they got it. So I depend on my kids and my nieces and nephews for about 95%. I'm like, how do I do this?
That is the truth. Well, like I said, this is the Rocky Mountain Regional Association podcast. That's where you can find it. We actually had some events. We'll start every single one of these with some little back and forth between Thomas and myself, and then we'll get right into the events. And so we recently just got done doing the crawfish boil. Thank you to everybody that came out for that. I know we're still gathering all the pictures, and we'll put a post up on social media to kind of celebrate all that. I know that, was she a past board member or past president, Sarah?
Both. She was.
Really?
She was
awesome.
Both past board member and past president, and they put on an awesome event yesterday. And the rest of our board that was able to help out and, you know, do so much, you know, volunteering, and doing things. I mean, thank you to all the rest of the board and everybody who came. Like you said, I mean, it's we've talked about, like on the last podcast, you know, we're a community, and, you know, whether you're on the board or a member, whether supplier member, distributor member, that's the awesome thing about RMR. It's a community where you guys can get together and you can talk shop if you want to and see what's going on in the world of promotional products, or just talk life and, you know, talk about things like the heat and the weather and whatever else is going on. That's what's so awesome about this industry. And, you know, you can get with people who are going through the same things you're going through and just enjoy and have a great time.
And we had a meeting to actually plan some future events that we'll be talking about here too. And we talked about our handicaps. No, I'm not talking about like what slows us down or anything like that, but our golf handicaps. And we were talking about that because we've got a golf event coming up on July 30th. I can't wait for that. I'm actually going to be flying up for that. And it'll be so much fun. It'll be a quick in and out trip for me, but I can't wait to see everybody there. We will be linking all the places to be able to register to these events that we are talking about on the Rocky Mountain Regional Facebook page, LinkedIn page, and also on the Instagram page. Now, I know Instagram is difficult because it doesn't allow you to link things inside the post, so you're going to have to do the whole copy and paste thing, but we still put it up there. So make sure to get registered for the golf tournament on July 30th at Green Valley Ranch early. It is extremely limited to who we are going to allow into that thing. And it's not because we're like grading you and like, oh, no, we don't want that person there. No, we just have very limited spots left. So make sure to click that registration button. And then what do we got coming up in August, Thomas?
August, we have the Rocky Mountain Roundup on August the 13th. It's going to be our big expo for the year. And like we talked about on the last podcast, we're doing something a little different this year. It's, going to be our big expo, that we put on every year, but it's going to be a little bit different this year. It's going to be a huge experience, and we want people to come out, and suppliers are excited about it. So, they're going to have a lot of amazing, things for people to see, not only product, but just great, things that they can come out and have great conversations and see new things that are coming up for the, end of Q3 and start of Q4. And it's going to be a great time. Like we talked about on the last podcast, we have a tremendous amount of space. So we will have no parking issues, no, nothing to come. It's going to be an awesome event. And the people that are coming are, we're excited that we were able to give the suppliers and multi-line reps, more room to do things, and distributors, like we talked about last time, try to make it a little bit more than just like an hour or two, time out of your day. We know everybody has a busy schedule, but everybody deserves a little bit of time away. And we're going to have some awesome things going on. So activities, great food, and most importantly, great conversation with awesome people.
That's what I'm talking about. And we do still have a few sponsorship opportunities left. So if you are a supplier that is coming in and you'd like to get your brand, get your name, get your logo out in front of a lot more people than just the few people that come by your booth, let us know. Reach out to RMR. We got some sponsorships left. We got a lot of fun things to do. And I know that like some of the standard ones, like the lunch and the beverage cart and stuff like that, that is already all sponsored, but we still have a lot of fun, like the grand prize thing. And we're giving away prizes throughout the day. So in the past, we used to just have like an after party and then have Thomas be like Santa Thomas and just like announce everybody's name. And you kind of had to be there. And it was really weird. And it's forcing people to come and stay all the way to the end of the show. But now we're going to be doing it throughout the whole day to kind of, allow the people that can only come for like the first maybe hour or two to have a chance to win something. So if you're a distributor that was kind of on the fence about coming out too, hey, come anytime. And we're going to have a bunch of fun games. You can be able to ride a bull, do some horse racing, and get to see a bunch of amazing suppliers as well. So few sponsorships available. Again, all the links to register and to get all that information will be down in the bottom. But that is coming up in August 13th. Is that right?
August 13th. Yep. At the National Western Center. So it's like I said, it's going to be a great event. Lots of fun things. Plus, get to, like we talked about, RMR is a community. So we have 250 some odd members, part of our, distributor list. Plus we have a tremendous amount of amazing suppliers, multi-line reps. Why not come out? Not only do you get to see other great people and visit with people, but you get to see the suppliers and multi-line reps who are out there just, busting it every day, the whole year, that are just putting, putting things out there for you to see, that obviously they want you to see things that are going to be something you can take to your end user. So that's the most important part. We want to support our suppliers and multi-line reps too, but we want you distributors. Get out, have a great time. This is going to be an awesome experience. That's what we talked about. It's not going to be a normal trade show. It's going to be experience. And like Brandon said, come on, have a good time, play some games, get away from the monotony that we all go through every day. Have a good time, let loose, and enjoy. So why not
get out of your cubicle and come hang out with some cowboys? And speaking of the community, we always like to talk about like we just talked about Sarah Weber and Sweber Marketing and how they just put on that crawfish boil. She was really the one that spearheaded that, and we can't thank everybody enough that came out and actually worked on that event. But we love to also kind of shout out some of our past presidents and board members. So big shout out to Quinn and Jenny for their wedding this weekend. I hope you guys had a phenomenal time. It looked amazing. What an area to do it in too. Like going down to Mexico. I got married here in Austin. I mean, destination wedding just seemed kind of weird. It was a destination for everyone else because they had to fly to come see us. So, but still, I think that's really cool. And congratulations, Quinn and Jenny.
Absolutely. Congratulations. I mean, Quinn's an awesome guy. He's been a huge part of RMR for many years. Even, when he stepped off the board, when he was done, he still made a point to help us out with things and do some stuff. So huge shout out to Quinn for always being a huge supporter of RMR and, his new adventure that he's got going, not only in his new promotional product adventure, but life, and him and Jenny are an amazing couple. I've had my wife and I have had a lot of times that we've got to spend with them, and they are just two awesome people. And I'm excited for them. You just got married recently, and I've been married for quite a while. And you know what? It's one of those things. I think when you meet your partner in life, and you get to experience the rest of those things with them. And Jenny and Quinn they're awesome together. They are going to have an amazing time this weekend, and all the people traveling down there, they're going to have a great time. Like you said, a destination wedding in Mexico. How awesome! So good luck to you guys. Congratulations, and we are so happy for you.
That's so cool. That's awesome. Well, let's get into some promotional products too. You listeners, we asked for some tips. We asked them for some advice on what you guys wanted to hear about. And we got our first request, and it was to talk about products that we use. Now, I don't know if some of you know this, but Thomas and I have been just about in every single part of the promotional products industry known. We've been on the supplier and the distributorship sides. And so we get asked that question a lot, like, what is your favorite promotional product? In fact, Thomas, I think you just recently got asked that.
I did. I actually had a customer ask me, they said, well, what is your favorite promotional product item to use? And it had me think, because it got me thinking, like a year ago, Brandon interviewed all of our board members and did such an awesome job introducing all of our board members last year. And one of his questions was, what was your first promotional item that you ever bought or sold? So it got me thinking when I was asked, what is my favorite promotional product to use? I basically said, it depends. It depends on the day, depends on the event, depends on where I'm going. And that's what's so awesome about this industry is there's so many amazing products where years ago, people used to use the word swag and, trinkets and trash and all that stuff. People get promotional products now and they are excited. They're excited whether it's apparel or backpacks or drinkware or technology, lip balm. I mean, you name it, the promotional product industry can do it. And it is awesome. I mean, I've seen people carry their coolers and chairs and stuff with branded logo on it. And so it got me and Brandon thinking, like, that's a very hard question because it's your favorite. I think it just depends on the day and the event. I mean, I think the world we live in, Brandon, we're talking, everybody carries some kind of drinkware with them everywhere they go. Doesn't matter what the brand name is. They've got something where they can keep their beverage in, and whether it's hot or cold. And I think the other thing is someone has, apparel that they take with them or that they wear. Technology, everybody's got their phone with them, so they got some kind of charger with them, some kind of charging cord. So that's a difficult question to answer. I think it just and me and Brandon were kind of joking about this before. I don't think that's a question I will ever be able to answer.
I always answer it this way. I always answer it. I look at my EDC or my everyday carry. What do I always have with me? And I think what I have actually done, and since I've been in the promotional products industry, is like now everything gets something. Whether it's an embellishment, whether it's I think since I started Market Media and started working with them, I don't think I've ever worn anything except one of these like 7 shirts that I made for Vegas. Like Monday through Friday, every Friday I start a load of laundry and it's nothing but these shirts. And every Monday I get up and I put on a pair of shorts and throw not this shirt on, but one of the 7 that I've got, right? And I think like I'm starting to get known for wearing this logo on my chest. Well, then I also look at all the stuff that I carry with me all the time. Like you said, a tumbler. Well, I happen to have done, so tomorrow will be 1,700 episodes of Preliminary Day.
Hey,
and so thanks, man. Everything has Preliminary Day on it. So, I mean, even the stand that my phone is sitting on. So like everything that I have has that logo. And I think that's like when people ask me what is my favorite product, I think I actually lean more towards like, what are you going to use every day? I'm a huge fan of like Zyn, like nicotine deals. So I actually put it on my can as well. So I always carry my logo with me everywhere that I go. So when somebody asks me what my favorite product is, I always ask them, do you like your logo? Because if they say, I could use a better logo, then make yourself a better logo. Because once you have a logo that you love to show off, everything will become your favorite product.
Yep, exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, and that's what's so awesome about this industry is the stuff that you can make with your logo or your customer's logo or whatever you're doing. It will be seen. It's like we've all talked about in every, supplier, distributor, factory, they all know. I mean, it's getting people's brand and, business out there to be noticed. I mean, think about how many times, like you said, you carry your drinkware and someone spots that. You're sitting in an airport charging your phone and someone spots the charger you're using. And if it has your logo on there, like you're literally just carrying a business card with you everywhere you go, whether it's apparel, a hat, anything you have, it can literally market your company all over the place. And do it on things that you love. Like you said, everyday carry items. I mean, when you're going on vacation, what are you going to wear on vacation that you could promote your company? What are you going to have with you? There you go. There's your t-shirt, the mug you're going to carry, the hat you're going to wear, the backpack you're walking through the airport, people standing behind you, somewhere in a line at an airport or a train station or anywhere, they see your logo. And that is what's so awesome that you can just, I mean, like you said, if you don't like your logo, let's create a new logo and find something else. But I mean, put it on things that people are going to, they're going to see your logo and they're going to wonder what that is. And not only are they going to ask about the product, but they're going to ask about your logo. Like, what is that? So that's what's so fun about it. Why not put it on everything?
Yeah.
I mean, you just said you put it on your Zen can, so that's awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on, right? I mean, it's the things that you're going to be using. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like whenever buyers always ask that question, like, well, what's hot and trending? I don't know. Like everybody uses something different, right? And so I think our industry, because we have that's honestly the benefit. Sometimes it can be looked at as a drawback because we have so many products, but the benefit of having so many products is now you can fit everyone's everyday need. And that is something that I've always really tried to push whenever I get asked that question or talk to people about our industry, is like, yeah, the product that you love to use every day, day in and day out, that logo that's on there, yeah, my industry put that on there, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do as a distributor, is you're helping that buyer find that product that person is going to use every day. And I think honestly, that's why drinkware and technology pieces are so popular, because it lends itself to being an everyday piece. But I've actually started seeing these in our industry. I've started seeing companies that are now like making metal tins that like actually screw down and you can engrave on them and do personalization. Like, so it's starting to become one of those things where every single industry has a product that can have a logo that can be put on it. So just find out what their vice is, what their thing is that they always have to have with them. Like, I know some people freak out if their phone battery goes below 50%. So a battery that has the cables built into it is something that could be your number one favorite product. So I'm going to put you on the spot though, because you said it depends, but what about Thomas? What is Thomas's, what's his favorite product right now? Like, what's the product you're grabbing every time you leave the house?
A hat. I have a hat everywhere I go. I love wearing a hat, and that's any hat that I wear, and I'm grateful that over the years I've been able to sell tons of different hats and rep some different hat companies that are awesome, and that's what's so fun. You can, same thing. It's a hat, but it's something people look at. If they're standing there talking to you, they look up at your hat. I mean, right away when I got on with you, I looked at your Colorado hat. So why not put that's probably my go-to every day is grabbing a hat. So, why not enjoy it? And make different things. And that's the thing. That's the awesome thing about our industry is you can take just a hat. For me, a hat is my favorite promotional item to probably have every day. Not to mention all the other stuff, like you said, that I carry with my everyday, carry with me. But a hat, You don't have to do the same hat with the same logo. That's what's so awesome. You know, our industry has so many different, and the suppliers that are out there and the reps and the, you know, that are out, and multi-line reps that are out there selling this are just so wise with wisdom of how to take your logo to the next level. Where,
Right.
I mean, you know, you don't have to do like the old thing is, well, if you got a hat, you got to do embroidery, but you can only do this many stitches. Now, shoot, hat suppliers are like, let's put a patch, let's do this, let's do that, let's do sublimation. I mean, they can take something as simple as a hat and blow it up into a brand, and it's such a cool thing. So that's mine. So I'm gonna come back at you. What is your everyday? I think you said the t-shirt, but is there something else that is your everyday?
Yeah, I mean, like literally every day I have a power bank from KTI, and they sponsored one of the Promo Day shows, and they're always so good about co-branding with my logo and their logo on the little power bank. And I take that thing with me everywhere because it's like a credit card size. It's a little bit thicker, but somehow they shoved 10,000 milliamp battery in there. And so it can charge my phone back up. It can charge Amanda's phone back up if we're out, but I always have that thing with me. It's got the little cables built into it. Also on the actual piece too, you charge it on the piece as well. Like you can plug it into the wall. It's got the plug-in built in. So all I have to carry is that little battery. I think it's over with all my wallet, my keys and stuff like that, right? It's just in the front landing area. So yeah, that would be my product. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and going off that, I mean, that's what's so awesome about the suppliers in this industry. They are taking things and making it everyday use, where, like you said, it's something where like that charger can be plugged into the wall. It's everything built into itself. I mean, I don't know how many times I've been using the charger in an airport, like I just said, and someone look over, like where it's one of the luminous ones where it lights up and people look at it and they're like, what is that? You know, it's amazing how that just starts a conversation. I'm not a person to have conversations with random people, especially in the airport, but when it starts to sell items, let's go. I mean, absolutely, you know? So, I mean, it's like, you know, you talked about like the things that the suppliers are out there coming up with, and, you know, finding trends, not only colors and, you know, what are the trends out there, but coming up with things that are practical for the everyday use. And that's, I mean, what an awesome thing to do, where you can, you know, show somebody something that is practical, where, like you just said, you go everywhere with that. And why not have something where you can give it to all your employees or your customers, or handing them out, where your logo is just going out on something that people are going to use every day.
Yep.
So,
well, Thomas may not strike up random conversations with people, and so that's why he likes to come to the events, and that's why he's part of RMR, and we want you to be part of RMR as well. Thomas had mentioned it too earlier that we're about 250 members plus strong and getting stronger. There are people joining RMR every day, and we want you to be a part of the board. What Thomas and I talk about on this podcast literally happens every day inside of the region. And this is also what we look forward to when we go to these events, is we love these conversations, these idea generations, these just getting to know people too, because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And maybe you're going to run into somebody that you really didn't realize that there was like a contract decorator just down the street from you, or you didn't realize there was another distributor that lived right behind you. And now you guys can share stories, share projects, share everything. So that's the power of RMR. We want you to join. We want you to give your opinions. And while you're thinking about this, while you're thinking about an opinion that you want to give us, just remember, if you give us too many opinions and tell us to change too many things, we're going to ask you to be part of the board. But we need board members too. So like, come be part of the board as well.
Absolutely. And that's, I mean, that's the thing is with our board. I mean, and we talked about it, you know, constantly with whether we're at events or anything. And our board is awesome. Everybody puts their time and their effort into things. And it's such an amazing thing to watch people come together and just throw ideas, like you said, and just generate opinions that make something become an amazing thing, like a crawfish boil. And it just shows that if you don't want to be part of the board, we understand, you know, that we'd love to have you part of the board if you can, you know, but also if you're a member or become a member, you can always volunteer for something. You can volunteer for a certain event and help us out. I mean, that's what's, you know, that's the old saying, you know, teamwork makes the dream work. And I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, everything, you know, together is, you know, I didn't mean to steal that from Morgan Wallen and Post Malone, but I mean, hey, I think they stole it from somebody first. So I mean, and that is, I mean, think about it. That's what makes things go round is teamwork and having people come together and collaborate ideas and, you know, suggestions and opinions, and then just like throwing things off a wall and seeing what sticks and putting it together. And it's almost like a puzzle. You're putting things together to have an event like our expo that's coming up and our golf tournament. Right. And it's just, you have people. And so like Brandon said, come out, meet another distributor. Even if you guys don't talk shop, you might live by each other. You might have similar interests. You might know certain people. Now you got a new friend. You might meet a supplier that you didn't know that they did something like that. You know, that you didn't know a multi-lane rep had a new line. I mean, that's what the power of, you know, an association, especially for RMR. When you come to a show and you start talking to people, you will be amazed how much you will learn. And I think all of us who've been in this industry, whether it's you're new or you've been a veteran in this industry forever, you're constantly learning something. And that's what's so awesome about this industry. It's things are changing constantly. So you got to keep up with everything or you're going to fall behind. So, and if you're talking to people and meet with people, when I will talk to people is when I'm ready to get educated on how I am going to learn more and become a better overall person in this industry, not to mention in life, of course, but, and that's what's so fun about it. So, I mean, like Brandon said, join RMR if you're not a member. If you are a member, start coming to some things. We have some crazy, awesome events that, you know, you come out and just have a great time.
Keep up with everything or fall behind. My man, Thomas. My man. I think that's a great place to end the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. If you guys did make it all the way to the end here, drop down in the comment. What's your favorite everyday carry product? Let us know.
All right. Absolutely. If you got ideas for another show, let us know. We love to have. What's the next topic we'll talk about?
Yeah, exactly. If you got a topic, put it down there too. I think we've got some guests that want to come on, so we might even be talking to some people in the region. Get ready. We got this thing going. We got at least 5 more episodes planned.
Absolutely. Minimum. The climb is just getting higher and higher.
That's right. We just started the climb. We got a long way to go to the top. All right.
Absolutely.
See you, everybody.
See you guys.